Good morning. This is Michael Groh from Morning Joe News. Currently, around the world, there is lots of fear and turmoil going on between countries. Many predict that by the end of the century, we will be involved in World War III. This is why it is important to study our history so we do not make the same mistakes we did before. Along that line, today we have two very special guests, James D. Houston and Jeannie Wakasugi Houston, who co-authored about Jeannie's life while living in the U.S. in a Japanese internment camp. The book is called Farewell to Manzar, which is the name of the internment camp she was in. Jeannie was an ordinary schoolgirl growing up with a loving family. Suddenly, her life changed after Pearl Harbor due to her ethnicity. Shortly after the bombings, her dad was accused of selling oil to the Japanese and was brought into custody. Shortly after, Jeannie and her family were moved to an internment camp in Owens Valley, California. While at the internment camp, it was very dirty and overcrowded. When her dad returned, he was not the same. He was an abusive alcoholic. At the school at the camp, Jeannie took part in dance and made many new friends, which made her stop thinking about all the troubles she had back at her home. Life in camp, though, suddenly got worse when people started rioting about poor conditions. Finally, at the end of the war, she was moved out of a concentration camp. Some people, when they were moved out, lives changed for the better, but some people for the worse. Luckily, Jeannie's life was changed for the better. She was formed by her experiences into a kind, caring, and strong young woman, and tried to inspire young people to rise above their troubles, but also to learn from history in the hope of preventing the same mistakes we made before. It's hard to believe all this happened here in the land of the free. The lesson here is that fear people they do not understand sometimes can get out of hand, like in Jeannie's case. U.S. citizens were removed from their homes and put in their internment camps because the U.S. was mad at Japan. This shows you cannot judge a book by its cover. You have to judge it by its actions and understand if it's kind or mean. In the future, let's remember what happened to Japanese Americans in the U.S. and not judge people on their ethnicity. For example, today many people are judging Muslims and saying they're terrorists, but not all Muslims are terrorists. After the break, we will address any questions you have to the Houstons. But first, to you, Jimmy, with a look at our weather.